Sorry. Hello everyone. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome to my channel if you're new here. So today we're going to make double oat muffins, except I probably won't add the oats on top. We'll see. I haven't decided, but I'm going to make a batch ahead too, to store. And I'm just going to use the jar that I have my oat bran in. So this book is from 1991. It's called The Best Recipes, the Muffin Cookbook. Just the only thing I'm going to do differently is I'm not going to add the salt. And the last time I made it, I put extra ground nutmeg in. I'm not going to do that because it was a little too nutmeggy. Now, the thing about these is they're very moist and they more have the consistency of they're solid, right? But the texture, I guess, of cooked oat bran or say farina, that type of texture. But they're solid. They're a muffin, I like that about these. Because, and also it has more oat bran in it as opposed to flour. See the difference there? So this, I've made this recipe. I enjoy it. Sorry, this already has flour in it. I used it for something else. So this is the store brand oat bran. You can use any type of oat bran. It's hot oat bran cereal. It is not. Let me show you this in a minute. It's I'm using a half a cup here. It's oat bran hot cereal that you're using. So this should be 2 cups, but I want to measure it anyway because I'm kind of weird like that. Might be a little over because I do, when I put the stuff in jars, I do tend to overpack them. Well, and apparently it's a little under. How about that? See, I'm glad I measured it. So, fortunately for me, right here, I have a brand new bag. Oh, that's why I wanted a separate bag. Because this was going to be used for I'm using Bob's Red Mill, partially, if I can get it out of here. Now, I can't find, I forgot, I think I got this oat bran at Hannaford, the older one. They do not have it at Walmart. They don't have it at Price Chopper. I don't know why, unless I'm looking in the wrong area. I'm looking in the hot cereal area. So anyway, I haven't gone to Hannaford in a while, so I'm not even sure if they have it or not. And maybe it's a seasonal thing because, it's supposed to be hot cereal. So anyway, I ordered this on Amazon because that's the only place I could find it. I don't have a car to get around just yet, so not like I could go to Target or anything like that. Or maybe I did get this at Target. I don't know. I got it somewhere online. How's that? Yeah. It's seems to be a little lighter in color than the other one. The Bob's Red Mill, but that's fine. I don't care. As long as I have what I need here. Alright, so that makes 2 cups. Let me get a bag to put the other mix in, make a head mix in. Hang on. I do make a mess when I bake. So what I noticed with the other, when I made the corn muffin mix, anything written on the clear part of the bag tends to wipe off. So I'm going to just write what I need to add to it on this white part. I'm going to use powdered milk, so add 1 cup of water. Well, 7/8 of a cup. I'll just leave it as 1. 1 egg and 3 tablespoons of vegetable oil. You know what? That's going to bug me. There you have it. 7/8 of a cup of water. All right, so this would be a make-ahead thing. I forgot my powdered milk, which is right here, so I don't have to go too far. All right, so let me get these measured into my bag, and I will be right back. Okay, so I decided to go ahead and make another batch too. Make two bags plus the batch that I'm making. Yeah, I can speak today, huh? Okay, so I was going to pour this into a bag, and then I said, no, not a good idea. So, to that, I'm going to add 1/3 of a cup of packed brown sugar, and of course, I forgot that measuring cup. Okay, so it wouldn't be me unless I forgot something. Just saying. So I'm just using a regular half-gallon ball jar for my brown sugar, but I think I might switch out to the other ones. I don't know. I really have that much room on my counter. So here is this one. It's a little less, but I think I'm going to have just enough. So it's that one. So I made this brown sugar myself. It's not very hard to do. You just add molasses to plain sugar and use your stand mixer to get it all mixed in. And it stays really nice and soft with one of those obviously I'm empty here. With one of these doodads in it. Going to give this a washing, and then I'm going to refill it later, at a later date. All right, so let me rinse my hands of brown sugar, and I'll be right back. Okay, let me get my whisk. Sorry, I'm really not with it today. Hang on one second. Okay, so I'm just going to break up the brown sugar a little bit before I add my flour. And yes, like I said, I make a mess. All right, so it's 1/4 of a cup of all-purpose flour. Oops. I already lined my muffin tins, and I have my oven preheating. So there's that one. Oh, need 2 hands for the bags, huh? This one. And that one. Okay. Now, 2 teaspoons of baking powder. And I didn't figure out what they are per muffin yet, so. Baking powder all over the place. Okay. I'm not going to add the salt. I am going to add the nutmeg. See, this is why I don't like these measuring spoons, because I'm not really sure if this is a 1/4 teaspoon. Yeah, looks that way. All right, so 1/4 teaspoon, 1/4 teaspoon. And today I'm going to add some cinnamon with the nutmeg, just to make it a little bit more flavorful. You don't have to. I would add some kind of spice though, because honestly, they'd be pretty bland without it. So I'm just adding a 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon. I like cinnamon. All right. Now, since I don't have milk in the house, and I am making this as a sort of make-ahead mix, it calls for 1 tablespoon. No, I'm sorry. 1/3 of a cup of dry milk powder to make 1 cup of milk. That's 1 cup, right? Yeah. I'm glad I kept this one because the other box I threw away. All right. 1/3 of a cup of non-fat dry milk powder. This way, I don't have to worry about milk in the future. I can just, I'm almost always have eggs. I mean, if you wanted to use an egg substitute, you could do that as well. But for me, there's too much sodium in it. So let me measure out the other ones for the bags. I'll be right back. All right. So those are both done, the bags. So I can just close them up now because it's all the dry ingredients. And squish them together later because I want to get that brown sugar mixed in pretty well. And so to this, after I stir it together. So like I said, I like this recipe because it has so much, sorry about that, so much oat bran in it as opposed to flour. They're very, very moist. Now, if you wanted to add raisins, you can, but what I would suggest is you soak your raisins before you put them in your muffin mix in the egg and the vanilla, because it softens them up. I would soak them for a good, I'd say like a half an hour before I even started getting the dry ingredients ready. Makes them nice and plump. I do make a mess though, don't I? Okay, so to that we're going to add, now this calls for a cup of skim milk, which is why I did the 1/3 of the powder and 7/8 water, 1 egg, and 3 tablespoons of vegetable oil. So I have my water sitting here, and I measured my oil out into here, and don't you know I forgot the egg. 1 minute, I'll be right back. Okay, so I always crack my egg into something other than, oops, what I'm using because of like reasons like that. See that? That's one reason. Plus, if you've ever had a bad egg, you really don't want to ruin all the rest of your ingredients for that bad egg. So I'm just going to beat the egg slightly. It calls for 2 egg whites, but yeah, I don't do the egg white thing. I just don't. So, I mean, if you wanted to do the two egg white thing, you can, but they come out just as well with a whole egg. Okay, so that's the oil and the egg. Mix them together a little bit. Why am I using such a noisy thing when I have this right here? And of course I have a sink full of dishes again. All right. 7/8 of a cup of water, filtered water, by the way. You can use tap water if you like. I'm weird. That's that. So, as with all muffins, we don't overmix them. We want to just get our dry ingredients wet. I also started a little, well, I didn't start the loaf of bread for tonight. I got the dry ingredients together. That way, all I have to do is add water tonight for a loaf of bread in the morning. Yum! I don't make bread all the time. Get my spatula. And sometimes the dry ingredients get stuck on the bottom, so I like using a spatula. Now these are very moist, like I said. All right. Think we're done? Yeah. So I think it's half full. Oh, it says almost full. We'll see about that. This is the hard part for me to do on camera because of the thing that I'm using. The holder. So I'll just use a measuring cup. Pour them in. And then we're going to bake them for 20 to 22 minutes in a 400-degree oven. Now, last time it made 12. These don't peak like the corn muffins did because this is mostly corn bran. So, I don't know if we're going to get 12 out of here. For some reason, it seems a little different, but see how many we get. That's 6. All right, I'll bring you back when I'm done filling the rest of them. Okay, so I managed to get 11 out of them. I'm going to pop them in the oven, and I'll bring you back when they're done. Oh my gosh, I forgot the vanilla. Huh. Yes, indeed, I did. Oh well, too late for those. I'll have to remember them. They're going to be really super bland, I guess. Please don't scratch my leg. All right, I'll be right back. Leave it to me to forget the vanilla, right? I have to write, what is it? You're supposed to add 1.5 teaspoons of vanilla as well. Have it sitting out too, right in front of my face. Sometimes you just have days like that, I guess. It is what it is, right? 1 1/2 teaspoons vanilla. So these are not going to be very flavorful. I'll deal with it. I can maybe actually just use them as a, although with the cinnamon and the nutmeg in there. I was going to say use them with eggs, but. So yes, don't forget your 1.5 teaspoons of vanilla in the mix, like I did. I'll deal with it. Maybe that's why it made 12 last time, although I doubt it. And I probably filled them less. Probably did help, though, in the situation. So anyway, I have 2 bags for the future. These are not going to be as good because it's lacking the vanilla, but maybe it won't matter because I added the cinnamon to it. We'll see. We will see. We'll find out. So, all right, let's do the math here. Let me let that dry a minute. Yes. Okay. They actually sit on my table because, yes, the cat jumps on my table. And it's senseless to try to convince him not to. I mean, I can get a spray bottle out and spray him, but I'd rather not do that. All right, so get my timer set. Let's see here. We have the baking powder is what, 35 milligrams of sodium per 1/8 of a teaspoon, right? It's 560. And I believe that is all there is. Could have added the salt. It's only a 1/4 teaspoon. Oh wait, I'm sorry, the eggs and the milk. I'm going to do 120 for the milk and 70 for the egg because I believe that's, I believe that's what those are. 560 plus 120 plus 70 equals 750 milligrams of sodium, and obviously I didn't do the topping. Divide that by 11, and there you have it. 68.181818 milligrams of sodium per muffin. That's pretty good. Let's see. I write myself little notes in here. 68 milligrams sodium per muffin. Now there's, with the salt, that's what I like about these, would have been 90 milligrams per muffin, which isn't bad. That's really not bad when you compare it to the muffin mixes out there on the market, which were Krusty's is 300 milligrams, Martha White is 220, and Quaker is 250 milligrams per muffin. So all in all, even at 90 milligrams, that wouldn't have been too bad. So yeah. Oh, see, I told you he jumps up on the table all the time. He wants to say hello. Okay, so I'll bring you back when they come out to show you what they look like. So, just so you know, you could also, if you wanted to, instead of the nutmeg and cinnamon, instead of the nutmeg, you could add apple pie spice. Like replace the nutmeg with apple pie spice, which is basically cinnamon, nutmeg, ginger, and cloves. I'm not a fan of cloves, so when I make my apple pie spice, I use very little. I'm not a big fan of cloves. Or you could use pumpkin pie spice, or you could just use cinnamon and add chocolate chips to it. You know, just vary it. But Oat Bran muffins are good for you. I know not the keto thing because it's a grain. But these I like I said, because it is mostly the hot cereal as opposed to more flour than hot cereal. So I tried to find more Oat Bran mixes. There really aren't any out there as far as pre-made. So that's all I have. That's the only information I have for you. I write myself notes. So yeah, 300 milligrams. They smell good. For Krusteaz, 220 for Martha White, and 250 for Quaker. I'll be right back. I want to just turn them around. Hang on. Okay, so if you wanted to make the topping, this is what they would look like with the topping. You would use a 1/4 cup of oats, quick or old-fashioned, uncooked, and a tablespoon of brown sugar. You just mix them together and then sprinkle on over the batter before you put them in the oven. Just wanted to let you know that. So that's what they would look like with the oatmeal on it. I will be back when they are done in another 3 minutes. Okay, so I could let these brown a little bit more, which I might just pop them in the oven with the oven off. And here comes the cat. I don't want him to jump up here. I'll be right back. Okay, so the thing about muffins is, of course you want them right out of the oven, right? But when you unwrap them, as soon as they come out of the oven, part of it peels off. Part of the muffin itself peels off. So I'm going to let this sit a little bit, let it cool some. Not completely cool, but in a little bit I will bring you back. Okay, so now that it cooled a little bit, well, still needs more time, but you see it'll actually peel off better as it cools more. But if you take it right out of the oven, that's what's going to happen. With all muffins, not just the bran muffins. You know, if you open it as soon as it comes out of the oven, just have to sit a couple minutes. So that's what we look like on the inside. Of course, you cannot have a muffin without butter. At least I can't. I need a better butter dish. Oh, definitely need a better butter dish there. It is what it is, folks. I'm a real person. So, there you have it. A low salt, low sodium Oat Bran muffin. I forgot to show you that the Oat Bran has 0 milligrams of sodium in it. And I got 2 mixes out of this 1-pound bag. That's because it's mostly Oat Bran, this recipe. There are recipes that are, see, it's still hot, that are more flour than Oat Bran, but I prefer the more Oat Bran than the flour. You know what? I don't even miss the vanilla. Better with it, but not all that bad. So you know what? It's okay to mess up a recipe. It still comes out pretty good. And who says that being on a low salt, low sodium diet has to be boring? Not me. Anyway, here you go.